Hello, everybody, and welcome to Thoughts from the Round Table. I'm Pierce,
And I'm Jacob.
and today we're covering the final episode of the worst arc in Season 7. Who's excited?
I am.
Oh my
Let's
gosh.
get this over with.
Yes!
Please join us at the round table.
Alright, guys, so no sugarcoating. This arc, bad.
2 thumbs down from Jacob.
2 thumbs down from Pierce as well. We've talked about how it's bad over and over again. Watch our other three episodes. I think it's funny that at the end of the Bad Batch, we said, at least it's gonna be Ahsoka. At least we won't complain.
Wrong.
We could
Wrong.
not have been more wrong.
Man, what did this arc have that they were like, you know what, this is mandatory to the story? Other than sprinkling a few characters that we need to care about back in, right? Because obviously the last 2 episodes were the only one that interested me, because we have our Death Watch members who aren't really the Death Watch anymore. We have Ahsoka and one of my favorite characters in Star Wars, Darth Maul.
Yeah, and Darth Maul, his brief little bit where he was there, was just about the only bit of the show that I found remotely interesting.
Was that the best scene in the arc?
I think yeah, and that is
I did
really
too.
sad.
Yeah, I just thought it was, they just sprinkled him in there, and it was cool. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like this arc was pointless.
Yeah, I don't know. There's so little to say about this arc because literally so little happened in it. Nothing happened. It was 4 episodes of nothing. And so many people are complaining on Instagram especially. I see it like, oh, people are giving this arc a really hard time, and they wanted the Clone Wars back, but then it got back, and then they complain. And I do need to talk about this because I want those people to think with their brain, right? If I say maybe I want what's an iconic franchise, right?
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings. If I say I want another Lord of the Rings book, okay? And I get a Lord of the Rings book, I am not therefore, because I wanted the book, entitled to love every bit of the book. I can read the book and I can say, wow, I'm glad I got more content. But man, there were parts of it that weren't very good. I think that's entirely fair to say. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I think this is just kind of the nasty, gross part of the Star Wars community, where everyone hates each other and no one has opinions that are the same. Everyone sees Star Wars as a different, view. If that makes sense. I don't know if that's the right word, but
I think it is.
Everyone wants what they want from Star Wars, and I think there's a loud majority who don't really care. They just want to argue on the internet.
Yeah.
And just because Star Wars is this all-encompassing media platform, there's everyone I feel like knows what Star Wars is.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the people who care, and then the people who really care. And I think that a select few are in the people who really care. I don't want to toot my own horn here. If it is being tooting my own horn, I would say we're in the people who really care. We can be glad there's Star Wars back and it's on TV, but we can still criticize it, but not be douchebags about it. Yeah. Then there's the people who care. I feel like this is the point. The people who care is where you get all the people online who hate everything about Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Because these are the people who don't believe that the Disney Star Wars should be canon and a bunch of stuff like that. And they're the people who bully the actors and actresses off social media.
Yeah.
You know?
The more disgusting side of the fan base.
Yeah. Because I feel like the people who really care understand that, you know, just because it's canon doesn't mean we have to like it.
Yeah.
And this is canon, and it's definitely it's a story that is a part of the universe. It seems boring to me. That doesn't mean I hate it, and I hate the people who are in it. And I think the Martinez sisters are the worst characters in Star Wars. I'm not saying that by any means. I'm just saying I don't think this arc is interesting to me. And I honestly don't even think the arc is aimed toward me, toward my audience, toward me as an audience member, if that makes sense.
No, I was just about to ask you. My problem with this arc, and I'd say my main problem with this arc was who was it for?
Yeah, so I think I have part of an answer.
Mm-hmm.
One part is, at the end of the day, this show and Rebels both are still kids shows. For those of you watching on YouTube, I gave air quotes because a lot of the viewing audience isn't. But you still have to throw some childish elements in a sense. The classic, essentially, how are we going to get ourselves out of this pickle?
Yeah.
Because I think it's entertaining to kids. If I was 8 or 9, I think I would have liked it.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like we've seen the same story trope, essentially. And, me knowing what could be, because I've read stuff like Dark Disciple, and even like the Darth Maul comic book, Son of Dathomir comic book, and stuff like that from the Clone Wars era. I feel like there's just too much content in this era that we should be wasting it on arcs like this. That was
Yeah.
a really long tangent, a really long monologue. But I think I got my point across, and I'm glad I can get it across
Yeah.
because that's something that's been bugging me.
Yeah, I think it's just kind of my thing is I agree that it's probably like for like the younger audience. And I think that is good to a point. But I don't think the we should be pandering season 7 to a younger audience at all.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. Right? Like if you're watching season 7, you either are older and like Star Wars a lot or you watched this show from the beginning,
Yeah.
right? And I
It's not
think
like
that
it's just a cartoon that you flip on and oh there it is, for the kids on Cartoon Network. Like it's on Disney Plus, you have to pay for it. The people who have been begging for the show's return are all old fans. And
yeah,
so
I
I
think
feel like they shouldn't be pandering. This is a arc that belongs in season 1 or 2 trying to get the shows off the foot. Like, their feet off the ground. But like I don't think it had really any place in season 7.
yeah, I 100% agree. I think that's where season 7's kind of missed its mark so far. Obviously, I'm going to, as I have shown in the past, I forget things often. I'm going to forget this arc happened Friday morning when I turn on the 9th episode. Because I think I will just be overwhelmed with how good this last arc is going to be.
Yeah, I think here's the main point I want to get across in this podcast. Season 7 so far to me has been entirely The last bit of season 7 has the potential to make this the best season of the Clone Wars out of all of them. And you know what? From the trailer, I think it's gonna do it.
Man, does Star Wars make great trailers.
Yeah.
This is maybe another tangent for another podcast, but I'm just going to get a little bit into it. I love any trailer will make me think this is going to be the greatest thing I've ever seen. I don't know who makes their trailers at Lucasfilm/Disney. Keep churning them out.
Dude, they're great.
Because I loved the trailer for the entire season 7. One of my favorite trailers ever. And I loved the trailer for this last arc.
I just thought it was so interesting that the trailer for all of season 7 was like 80%. the last arc. Like, the whole show has
Yeah.
been building to this conclusion. And gosh darn it, I think it's gonna pull it off.
Man, I hope so. It's just going to be interesting, I think. One of the most interesting things to me is this is Anakin a few days before he becomes Vader.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know, I think throughout Clone Wars, I kind of get confused timeline-wise. We obviously see the slow adjust to Vader, and we talked about this in our Clone Wars episode. But this is it now.
Yeah. But with that being said, I mean, guys, all we can really do is wait for it, and I'm gonna tell you, I don't have anything else to say about this arc.
Me either. I'm just ready. I'm ready.
I think out of the arcs go, this one has been the worst one in season 7. And that
True.
being said, I am so incredibly thankful that we got it, just because it's more Clone Wars, and so incredibly excited for this Friday. And I hope you guys are too.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us. Check our social media out if you haven't already. Twitter, Instagram. Also, check out our Discord server. We'd love to have you on.
We'd love to discuss some Star Wars with you.
Yeah.
So
We love Star Wars. We love talking about it.
yeah, if you had any disagreements with this video, bring them up in our Discord perhaps, or maybe comment, or maybe shoot us a direct message. Who knows? We like engaging, so engage, my friends. And I will see you guys in the next one.